Well, hi again, everybody. The 2013 season for the Robert E. Lee Red Raiders ended this past Friday night. The Red Raiders finished up with a 3-game improvement over 2012. They wound up with a 4-6 overall record and won a district ball game. Not what everybody wanted, but still better than the year before, as the Red Raiders wrapped things up with a 21-7 loss against Heath High School from Rockwall. And Coach Darrell Piske is with us. On the one hand, you did make strides this year. On the other hand, I know you're disappointed.
Yeah, anytime you're sitting here, you know, week 11, and we're not talking about next week's opponent, you know, coaches, we go through a little depression ourselves, and got to have a pity party for a little bit, and then, you know, that's got to end today, and we got to start getting ready for next year.
What, just, you know, again, that you're right. I mean, that's, you play those 10 weeks, and you've been working since August. You're hoping to be playing November, even into December. Just looking back on things, just give us an overview of what you think went on.
Well, you know, we made strides. We still got a ways to go. You know, got to get more consistent, you know, offensively and defensively, where we match up on the same night. You know, I thought the defense played very well the other night. Offense, outside the first drive, showed lack of consistency, and so, you know, we as coaches, we spent this weekend doing it, and we'll continue to spend starting this afternoon after school, looking at what we have coming back and what we got to do to make sure that next year on week 11 we're playing somebody.
Is it a matter of what the old term mental toughness, is that what it takes in the end?
Yeah, that's one thing that we know we've got to continue to make strides on. We've made strides, you know, to where if I get a little nagging, you know, some minor little hurt going on, that I don't let that affect my play, and that I'm mentally tough enough to block it out, and you know, we'll have to continue to get after that, and that's just going to come through off season, getting on the track and doing the things you got to do to make yourself the best athlete and the toughest athlete you can be.
In what area did you see the most improvement this year?
Probably just on fight. You know, continuing the battle to the end, and the effort, you know, was good, and it's just our job is to figure out how to put them in position to make them get over that next step and be successful, and like I say, play in week 11.
I was talking to some of the seniors on last week before leading up to the game, and you know, they were, on the one hand, they were proud that they at least made strides this year. It felt like that there was at least some steps taken. I know they were very disappointed not to play that 11th ball game.
Yeah. I mean, it's the whole group's disappointed, which as we should be. I mean, if we're satisfied with just making strides and all that, then really we're not going to get where we want to go. So it's got to hurt deep down, and like I say, there's got to be a lot of people with heavy hearts right now and frustration, and then you choose to take a path to overcome that and get where we want to be next year, and it's going to take a lot of work and effort, but hopefully it hurts. If it doesn't hurt, then probably hadn't worked hard enough.
Coach, you played a lot of sophomores this year, especially at key positions. Quarterback and your tailback were both 10th graders. How far did those kids come?
Yeah, they came a long ways. You know, they've got we got things we've got to work on, you know, at each position, and that's what the coaches, that's what we're evaluating right now, down to minute details on whatever kids got to improve on for next year to make them as good as they can get. You know, I guess we had 7 or 8 sophomores out there starting somewhere, mixed in on offense and defense. So that's good and bad. I mean, it's good for the future. It's, you know, it's bad when you're in the middle of the season. But those guys are going to get better and get bigger, faster, stronger. And then, like I say, we as coaches have to figure out what we have to do to take it to the next level.
And the young guys really got a taste of especially, you know, some of the good teams in the district. 5A football, to compete at a high level. Yeah, it's, you know, it does take bigger, faster, stronger to play against the likes of Longview and people like that.
That's right. That's right. Just the speed of the game's so much different. You know, they played in in junior high and 9th grade, and then all of a sudden you step up there, and usually you progress to the JV level. But a lot of them got thrown right in the fire this year, which will help them, in, you know, coming down the road in the next couple of years, and then be able to get some other pieces of the puzzle out of that freshman group, and the kids that we get this coming year as freshmen. Just to put it all together, start making some runs.
Are you encouraged or discouraged after the season?
Well, I'm encouraged, but you know, of course, you just right now, I'm, you know, still like to say on my own pity party. But no, I'm very encouraged. You know, and looking at the groups of junior high kids that we've seen, you know, on the Tuesday night games, going out and watching those guys over there. You know, seeing the ones that we're going to get that's zoned our school, we get pretty excited because, you know, with that good sophomore group, got a pretty good junior group, and then be able to continue to add some athletes, and that's because that's where we're thin a little bit, is at the skill positions. you know, to be able to, you know, notice Bryce and Marquiston had to play a lot both ways the other night, and we got to be able to develop guys to where they don't have to do that. Guys like that don't have to do it as much.
Who are you? Just a word about your seniors before we look at some of the highlights from the other night. Just the job those guys did this year.
Yeah, you know, really, we're gonna miss them. You know, and you know, some years you go through life and you can't wait for graduation, and this is one of those years where you know you wish it wasn't coming. You'd like to have those guys back. Just how far they've come, you know, overcoming bad habits and bad work habits and stuff, and showing these young guys, you know, they've modeled them on how to hang in and compete and work hard every day, and you know, just changing offenses and stuff. I wish, you know, we could have Bryce, Marquise, and some of those guys back to continue to learn to get better in the passing game on route reading, stuff like that, and it'd be a lot of fun. But you know, hopefully some of those guys are going to go off, and it won't be the last time we get to see them play.
I know your coaches were frustrated with the secondary, especially in the second half of the year, so much so that Marquiston Williams and Bryce Wilkerson started at cornerback on Friday.
Yeah,
night.
we've got some work to do. You know, work to do there, and that's, you know, it'll be our job to figure out. You know, we can't go out and you know, birth new players. So we're going to take what we got and try to figure out how to make them and whatever we got to do scheme wise to put them in a chance to be successful. I know one thing that I believe in totally is we got to get every skill kid we got to get out there on the track and not be running just because coach making them run, but run because I want to be faster and I want to be more mentally tough and get in the weight room and build our bodies up. Just try to focus on being the best athletes we can be.
We can talk about off-season coming up in a moment, but again, let's roll some video and look at the final game of the regular season. It was a Friday night game at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium. It was also senior night, not only for the football players, but for everybody else, trainers, managers, Southern Bells, band members, everybody involved, recognized before the game, and here you are on offense. And a great first drive, by the way.
And here's Tavon coming out early. You know, his shoulder's a little banged up, and he wasn't as physical as he normally is, but, you know, showed a little toughness by gutting it up and trying to get in there. And of course, O-line does a good job. You know, losing Willoughby, we had to move Holtz out to that tackle and put Viella in there at guard. And so they did a good job here.
This is a 5-minute, 39-second, 12-play drive.
Yeah, this is the kind you like. You know, eat time up, keep the ball out of their hands, and then finish it off with a touchdown. This is Zach to Marquiston. Does a good job of going to the second read. Marquiston does a good job getting over and, of course, catching football.
But you burned up half the first quarter with this baby.
Yeah, yeah. And really, it was, you know, everything was working out pretty good, and we threw that pick right before half, which we got to find ways to not have those things happen to us.
That interception was just bad timing.
I guess it's Rockwall schools. We like to give them gifts right there before the half. Here's Keywan Johnson. You know, when you get on the 1 yard line, that back, really a lot of it's just him deciding he's going to get in the end zone, lowering his shoulders and running over whatever's there.
Boy, did he come on great near the end of the season.
He's done well. I expect, you know, see him a lot next year.
Yeah, he's just a junior, right?
He's just a junior.
Yeah, no, that was great. I mean, had that big night against Mesquite, 3 touchdowns, 180 yards rushing.
Yeah. And
then he wasn't just a one-hit wonder. He kind of helped you the last 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah, he's going to be, that'll be big, you know, having him and Tavon back and, you know, being able to figure out he's got to continue to work on his hands, but, you know, as far as running hard and being physical, he did a good job for us.
All right, here's some defense. And the defense played well all night long.
Joshua Bice. Yeah, I was really proud of the D, the way they stepped up and held a pretty good team, had some good athletes. You know, their defense just tackles so well in space. We talked about it before. They did a pretty good job once we got in space at tackling.
Just a side note on the game, their little quarterback, R.J. Williams, went to Hubbard through his 8th grade year before moving away.
Yeah, we'd like to have him.
He's a pretty good-looking little athlete, wasn't he? But anyway, and he had moved from wide receiver to quarterback.
They got first couple of quarterbacks got hurt, which really he's pretty dangerous at quarterback. Early, the first guy was more of a thrower, not much of a runner, and this guy could actually, RJ could do both. In this defense, that's Labley fitting inside out. Defense, really what they did so much better of is just fitting in the right spot.
Labley's a senior, played cornerback and safety for
Played a
him
little
this
bit of
year.
all of it, you know, moving him around. He sees the open door and goes and closes it, does a good job. Another defensive highlight here. Grayson Calhoun.
Sophomore.
Yeah, Grayson's he's going to be all right. He's one of those just get after it. And that class got a lot of them, and we just got to surround them with next year's seniors and next year's sophomores. And
I think Gray, who's at the bottom of the screen there, is going to make this play. Came up kind of in the middle of the year.
yeah, after Teddy got hurt, we had to pull him up. But he's done a good job. And like I say, he's one of those getting weight room. Really,
Right.
we've got a lot of those kids that will do what we're asking them to do to get us to the next level.
Now they tied it up. They had a long drive of their own to tie the ball game up. And here you are back on offense. This is Zach Hall.
Second quarter.
Zach never, I mean, that was a nice run, but Zach really never regained after he
No,
got hurt. That
no,
fifth
he's
gear that
still-
we saw
yeah,
early
that's
on, right?
That's right. So that's something he's got to have. And then he's got to improve in, you know, a lot of things, pocket awareness and moved around and the passing game. So that's stuff that we'll go to work on immediately. And
Does he need to get bigger too?
you know,
You don't
no, it
want him
never,
too big,
no,
right?
it never hurts to. He just got to get stronger,
Stronger.
And athletic, more explosive.
Mm-hmm.
And Coach Compton, you know, he's got a program laid out for all that. And I know Zach will be playing basketball along with several others. But really a lot of it's the mental part, just learning the passing game and coverages and all that kind of stuff that we'll have to prove on in that area, as well as with our receivers.
Here's Raleigh Poster, senior quarterback.
Came in, threw a little quick hitch pass out there to Bryce. Marquise did a decent job, him and DeAndre blocking out there and give Bryce a little room.
Raleigh wound up helping out. He was in a tough spot this year,
Yeah.
not able to start after starting last year, but never backed away from what you were doing, did
No, he had, you know, he had his things he could do, and came in and did them the best of his ability.
Yeah, there's that pass play again.
Yeah,
Is that Wilkerson you said?
that's Bryce.
Bryce. Now, he had a heck of a year for you, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a good one. He had a good one. You know, like I say, the other night, I think he just got gassed, you know, going
Right.
both ways full time and being the return guy and doing all that.
Well, and he was, what, about 40 yards of return on kickoff returns?
Yeah, he's
very close to
I
it.
tell you what, he'll make somebody a hand. They give him a shot.
Who's recruiting him?
Well, nobody's really come and just knocked on his door yet, but you know, there'll be some smaller schools. You know, big schools, they want that 6'4" guy. But he'll have a chance. He's such a good return guy, and he'll be able to contribute. And then just a good little shifty inside receiver.
He is.
Adam, you know, moved over here after we had a couple of injuries and stuff.
Right. Played a little both ways, didn't
He played both ways the other night in this fullback position right here, and really did a pretty good job just being physical and being a big old body.
Was that Kaiwan or Tavon Wesley with a carry there?
I think it was Keywan, but
Okay.
with the buffering, it's hard to tell.
He, again, didn't get a whole lot of playing time early in the season, but had one kid leave the team, and next thing you know, he's had to step
He's
up.
right
and
in
did.
there, yeah. You know, that's what they got to get. They're just every backup's one play away from being a starter. Here's Desmond had a great year for us. And there's Marquiston on defense. Desmond really good tackling in the open field.
Both seniors.
Yeah. Got a strip.
I think Mark Easton recovered the
Yeah.
fumble, didn't he?
Yeah. Desmond caused it, and Marquiston recovered it. You know, Tristan Taylor, those guys like that up front.
Another one.
And
Maybe
Tron
not
Henry, Amir Wilson.
You know, he may not get a big Division I offer, but somebody's
somebody's going to give him a chance to play football.
Right, absolutely.
His motor runs all the time, and it's just a different angle. was hoping as soon as he got in that pile he'd get down so they didn't re-strip him and see it go the other way.
But the key there, you got the ball back, but the offense not able to do a whole lot.
Yeah,
with it.
we had our opportunities. Defense played great, gave us some turnovers, and that's where we got to get offensively is where we can just be consistent. Be able to put points on the board different ways. Here's Laveley again.
Was that a pick or just a knockdown?
Just a knockdown. Made a good tackle.
There was a pick by Marquiston Williams later in the game. It was just a beauty.
Yeah.
Made a nice play. Of course, you'd expect a wide receiver.
Yeah, he ought to catch it. That's
right. He ought to catch it.
It's not that old adage over there that's the reason you're on defense because you can't catch if you got your receivers over there. Hopefully they can catch them.
Again, the score was 21-7. Defense, and the defense only gave up 2 scores because one of them was a pick 6 right before halftime. So
yeah.
In the end,
really, they played good enough to win. But it's a team game, so in the end, we all get the loss. But
unofficially, Heath had 260 yards. Paper had him at 260 total.
Yeah,
you can win with those
numbers,
right. Can't you?
That's right. And you hold people to 14 points and don't give up pick 6. Hold them 14. You ought to have a chance to win.
And they had 3 turnovers, so those are winning numbers.
Another Desmond highlight. Open field, good tackle. Don't miss him. Just a good kid, good attitude. Tighter angle of it.
Yeah, I remember Desmond last year talking to him. He'd played running back some last year, too.
Yeah, that's right.
Moved to defense this year, played well.
Yeah. He's a good one. Old computer, old buffering, it feels like I do this morning.
When you build a high school football program at the 5A level, the bulk of the kids are going to be what you just said, good high school football players,
yeah, that's
right?
right. That's right.
You need how many difference makers do you really need?
Well,
guys?
you'd like to have a few at least.
Right.
It looked.
But the whole team doesn't have to be that.
No,
way,
that's right.
it?
That's right. You don't. If you're someplace like Longview where they got 8,000 of them that everybody in the country's looking at and stuff like that, it makes it nice. But I just looked at most of the teams we play would have 1 or 2 guys that's committed to Texas or Baylor or somebody like that. So you got to have a couple of GoDaddies, but. Really, if we can just get our guys mentally tough and football smart, then you can compete with those guys with discipline and mental toughness, and that's what we're working towards, trying to get all those intangibles in there.
Have you seen state championship caliber teams that had nobody that was going off to college? Had just a team full of good high school football players?
Well, you look at Katy comes to mind, but they usually have some pretty good football players, but. No, it's usually if you're playing that weekend at the 5A level, you may see that down at the lower levels, just good hard-nosed kids. But at this level, nearly everybody's got some good guys that are going to play pretty big programs.
Surrounded by discipline.
That's right.
Hard-nosed
eventually,
kids,
you can have all the athletes in the world. If you don't have mental toughness and discipline, then eventually you're going to get beat because you're going to get deep enough to where everybody has talent. And so. You look back at our old 4 team, there was quite a few guys that went some pretty good spots off those teams. So you got to have some of them. You don't have to have every player going be a major college football player. Some of them just got to be tough, good old hard-nosed kids that get after it. And we got some of those coming. We just got to develop them. And
was this Taylor here on this play?
Yeah.
Again, he's listed on my book at 6'1", about 260.
That's somewhere about right.
Is that right? 255.
He's got good, good leverage, good strength. He, good athlete, and he'll work hard. I mean, he's just a good old country boy, gets after it. And
will he play on the defensive line in college?
Yeah, that's where they'll put him.
Okay.
They'll add, they'll beef him up and put some more muscle on him, but
probably not going to get any taller, but
no, unless they got a machine to stretch him with or something. But they, no, he'll put on another 20, 30, 40 pounds and still be able to move and be a pretty good football player.
I think so.
He understands leverage. He's got good agility and quickness. His feet are good.
Well, I know John King in Longview was impressed with
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
They thought he was
yeah.
the best one they'd seen, you
Yeah,
know,
that's right.
up until your game, best defensive lineman by an opponent all year.
Yeah,
which is saying something.
That's right.
That's a nice
When John
compliment.
King says it, because he looks at pretty good ones every day.
Absolutely, but they play, you know, they play 5A football,
Yeah.
and just like you do, and they see good teams.
Yeah.
It's a good play on the edge. Who made that?
That was done, and I think Derman.
Okay. And Dermott will be back.
Yeah, yeah, he'll be back.
Young man, just a junior, leader on your team this year.
Yeah. Like I say, we got, you know, the future looks bright. You know, we just have to continue to work hard.
Now here's the interception, I think. Is
Yes,
it not?
Yes, it is.
Watch this play. A, he had excellent coverage,
Yeah.
and B, it looked like they were throwing it to him because he
Yeah.
made a heck of a catch in the end zone.
Yeah, and then, you know, decent run to get it out. Just a tight angle of the same play.
He, of course, had the touchdown against Mesquite, didn't he? The game winner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. 41 yards, broke a tackle. He's hard. He's deceptive on how strong he is. You know, you put him in the weight room and you don't think he's that strong, but
Right.
you get him out there and people have a hard time getting him down.
Had good pressure on that play too,
Yeah.
pretty good. But a nice reception. Of course, on the one hand, he could have just taken a knee, right?
Yeah.
You coach him to do that, or you?
His own mind wasn't thinking that quick. But, you know, kind of like what was it a couple weeks before where we intercepted that pass on 4th down. We would have gained about 40 yards if we knock it down.
Knock it down. Yeah, that's right.
Here's, I don't remember which game it was, but here's a fumble here.
I'd forgotten that play. I'm trying to remember what that play was. Who makes
I'm
this
going to
play
guess
here?
that Mirror causes it and Dorsey recovers it based on the
Oh, yeah, on the
fancy.
edge. Yeah, over in front of the sideline. Yeah, I thought Dorsey,
Mirror
who's
did-
another sophomore.
Yeah, yeah. Mirror did a good job pursuing and swatting on his way down, and then Dorsey comes up with the recovery.
So you just mentioned Greg Calhoun, Michael Dorsey, John Samples, who played a lot at defensive end this year, all sophomores. At times you started a couple of sophomores in the secondary this year,
Yeah,
so a bunch of those kids played quite a bit. There's the strip.
Yep, and here comes old Dorsey. Good news is, if it's not Dorsey and we tagged it wrong, one of the kids will let us know. They have a tendency to.
So they
correct
actually
us.
watch this show?
Well, no, but they it'll be on the poster and they'll come tell us how we did it
All
wrong.
right, okay. Well, or the parent will, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Now here's a punt. I think we'll see him. I'm trying to remember. Is this the really good punt? Oh, this
No,
is
that's
a
the
fake. I'm
fake
sorry.
punt.
Now, was this a call play?
It was a call play, and then we almost screwed it up. It was a hideout, and we don't send the kids off the field until they've blown the whistle into place, so everybody's within the numbers when they blow the play clock in. Then we get out there, and our up back, I don't know what he was waiting on. I guess he was waiting on them to see that we got a guy standing over here wide open. Now they discovered it, so we snapped it. But, you know, we worked it all week, get out there quick. As soon as we get set, snap it and let's go. And
That was, by the way, Trevor Carr who made that play.
Yeah, he threw it to Bryce over. Bryce did a good job going up and catching it.
Trevor's a backup quarterback, played some fullback for you this year in the junior, so he'll have him back next year. Another one of those good athletes, good guys. You can find a spot for him somewhere.
To play, that's right.
Absolutely.
That'll be the challenge here in the next week or so, is getting these guys locked in, figuring out where we have to have them and the bodies we have coming, and off the JV and out of that freshman class, and see where we go. We ought to be getting near the end here.
That may well
That's
wrap
it.
it up.
That's it.
Let's take a couple of minutes and say
And,
thank you. It takes more than just coaches and players to put this show on.
Yeah, it's all the behind-the-scenes stuff, you know, little things that people don't realize. You got the Booster Club that's working all the time and taking care of these guys and doing treats for them and all that.
Which the moms, by the way, do all the work on that, don't
Well,
they?
now we've got more dads helping out.
Okay.
The Rendons and, of course, the
Sure.
Holtz are kind of the co-presidents of
Right.
it, and you know, you got the helmet dads that haul the helmet
Yeah.
to the games all the time. And
That looks like a fun job to get to blow up that big helmet down there.
well,
Yeah.
sometimes until the plug doesn't work or something, or I think last couple of weeks ago it was going deflating on them pretty quickly, and so they kept having to air it up, you know, stuff like that. But really, Booster Club does a lot of things,
Sure they
you
do.
know, and it's usually a handful of people. Hopefully, those numbers will grow. You know, just administration, you know, Mr. Brown's support and Coach Caffrey's support, and really thank the board and Mr. Mooring, you know, getting that turf field over has made a big difference. We had multiple times this year to where we really would have been in bad shape had we not had that with the rain we've had lately.
When it
and stuff
rains, the
like
kids
that.
can't get out of practice anymore.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they're I don't know if the kids are excited about it, because if it's not lightning, you know, we can go out there and do that, you know. And then you just got the band and the Southern Bells and their little Southern Bell guards and cheerleaders, people like that make all this, you know, it makes it all an experience, a holistic experience where everybody gets to go on. And
Friday
and
Night
really
Lights. It takes a whole bunch of people to
takes
put
a
that
bunch
on.
of them.
Yeah.
Really, for me, I just like to thank the seniors, you know,
Yeah.
for they've battled through a lot of adversity over their 4 years, and it didn't end the way we want to end the other night, but you know, they showed character, and you know, a lot of them, you know, it's really sad to see them come off the field, but knowing that they're going to be fine in life and be successful in life. A lot of times you worry about these guys, you know, after you've seen what they have inside them, you worry about them in life. And I didn't see any of this group that we're going to have to worry about. They're all going to be fine, and we're really excited for them. And then, you know, really just one guy, Lane White, you know, takes our pictures. Lane White Photography. If you look on his website, he takes a lot of pictures every Friday night, travels around with us and does all that. And you know, it really just takes a lot of people. You know, my assistants thank their wives. You know, they hadn't seen them much in a while. I even made them come to work this weekend. So hopefully here in the future they can get reacquainted.
And good luck to Jerry Reed. I think Jerry's
Yeah,
retiring.
that's right. We
is he
gave
not?
Jerry a plaque. Gave him a plaque in pregame. He's
Yeah.
not much on that public speaking and stuff. So, you know, before the game, we gave him a plaque. 18 years of
Yeah.
service. Been through good times and bad times.
Right.
You know, here at Tyler
Good
Lee.
man.
So he's a hard worker.
A no-nonsense kind of guy.
That's right. He
too,
doesn't
isn't
put up with any bulls. So, yeah, hopefully he's going to enjoy
Yeah.
life, you know, after all those years. That's a lot of years to be grinding and doing all that kind of stuff that coaches do. So I bet he finds him a little place to fish and catches a few fish here in the future.
Not about 30 seconds left. Off-season starts when? Pretty quickly, right?
Well, it's going to start today.
Okay.
We don't have any time. We can't take any time off. That's why we work this weekend to be prepared and get ready. And we'll have to take up stuff today and start testing and, you know, start our lifting and all that stuff next week.
All right, so the football season ends for the Red Raiders, but again, next year is just around the corner. It doesn't take long, and again, spring football is not far around the corner, and all the weight training with Coach Compton, by the way, who's a new addition to the staff this year, the strength and conditioning coach, so I can guarantee you these young men are going to have plenty to do this offseason. Some will go on to play basketball, some run track, some play baseball, different sports like that, but they'll all be busy at Robert E. Lee during the rest of the fall semester and throughout the spring heading into the 2014 football season. Thanks again to Coach Piske and his staff for a fun year, an improved year this year as the Red Raiders finish up 4-6, won their first district game in a couple of years, and look for better things next year. For Coach Piske and the Red Raiders, thanks for joining us.